Should you get a home inspection when you're buying a new construction home? Oh, Derrick, what do you think about that?
I think most definitely.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to tell you guys why. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Sasha Chatman here with Chatman Realty Group, and I'm here again with
Derrick Walls, Superior Inspections.
And today we're talking about new construction homes and if you should get a home inspection. This is a debate in the industry. The builder will tell you one thing, I'll tell you another. He's got his own opinion, so let's have that discussion. Okay, Derrick, you firmly believe people should get an inspection when they get a brand new home, right?
Without a doubt.
Okay, why is that?
Well, I mean, think about it. A home is the biggest investment that you're going to make, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it like this: would you buy a brand new car without test driving?
No, I definitely would not.
I don't think anyone would.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we are being hired to test drive that home for you.
Right.
So that's the way I look at it in a nutshell, and give us a couple of hours to do that, and we're going to do just that. We're going to test drive it, and then we're going to tell you the results of the test drive.
Right. So for the record, guys, I'm not against getting an inspection for a brand new home. I'm just playing a little bit of devil advocate here because he inspects homes for my people who got new construction, but then sometimes they don't do it. So I'm like, you never know what's behind those walls. You never know what's behind the walls. It looks new, fresh paint, brand new. But tell us how this works when you go to a new construction home. Like, when exactly should you actually go there and inspect the home? And what process?
I recommend doing that just between if some builders do first and second walkthroughs,
right.
I recommend doing it between the first and second walkthrough. That gives you an opportunity to identify all your cosmetics on your first walkthrough. Then let us come through and we take a look at all the mechanicals, and you combine the information that you have and make sure that those are all completed and done on your second walkthrough.
Right. That's exactly what I would say. So when you do this walkthrough, let me get it right. So after the walkthrough, you do the home inspection, then you give over the report. Now, how does that process work with you and the builder? What kind of conversation are you guys having? Because I've seen you talk directly with the builder and his crew about, hey, this is what I see. How does that really work?
Well, again, we have different compliances that we had to go by, and that means we share the report with our customer and their realtor that they're working with. And of course, then we ask permission. Some customers and realtors prefer that we just exclusively share the information with them.
True that, yes.
And then others say go ahead and share with the builder. And then once we get that consent from the customer, then we'll share the report with them, and we'll even discuss the report with them.
Right.
So again, I always say that, you're buying a new home, then I think that this is one of those cases where you do want to try to get all the repairs done,
right.
Unlike in existing homes.
Exactly. So here's the dealio with that, guys. I'm glad he brought this up. You need to understand that we just can't share you the report. You are the customer. You're the buyer, which means that he needs your permission to share the report. He has to share it with you, right? So don't just think automatically that, everyone's going to get the report. That's not how this works. That's not how it works. You are in control as a buyer to decide when that report is shared, okay? So, but let's talk about those repairs. So I've never had a builder bucket. I've had some builders say, that code is old, yada, yada, but they always do the repair. So I agree with you 100%. In this case, get the repair done. You're buying a brand new home. Do not buy the problem, okay? It should be brand new. It should work returning air and all that stuff, right? So that's when you guys really should start having that particular conversation. All right, so let's talk real quick, shift gears to how much does an inspection cost typically for a new construction home?
On average, the cost will vary based on the size of the home, but on average about $350. And again, that depends on the size and the features of the home, but on average about $350.
Yeah. Guys, that's really cheap to have that peace of mind. All right, so here's one thing that we always have these debates about. It's about the code. What is actually in code, what's not code. Let's talk about that real quick. When you do new construction homes, how does that work with the builder about what is code, what isn't? Because I've seen this debate go back and forth. Tell us about it.
Sure. Okay, first of all, with code, all cities are going to be building from a different code, meaning dates, as far as when the code was updated last and what version of that code that they're actually using. So just keep in mind no city is going to have the latest. I mean, it's just government, and they're always going to be a lag.
Right.
Now, however, we're going to inspect to the most recent code as far as our inspections are concerned, but just understand and know the builders are never going to be on current code. But that doesn't mean that they're relieved of their responsibilities of building to current code. So that's just something that consumers need to know.
Right. And so that's another reason why you need a home inspector. So they're tasked with being up to date with all these codes. There's a lot of them out there. And so he's going to go back and educate them back and forth, and they'll bring your house to today's code. Now, your house is probably going to be out of code a year later because the codes change that often, but you still want to make sure that your house is being built to today's code and they meet those specifications. So another reason why you need a good home inspector.
And one thing I wanted to add, Sasha, is you'll regularly get builders that will give you a rebuttal to say the city doesn't require us to build to that particular code or this particular code. Oftentimes, after we point things out, that's something that you'll commonly get back as far as feedback from the builder. One of the things I would suggest that you give that builder when the minute he says that is, are you trying to build to a minimum standard or are you trying to build to a higher standard? Because if you're going to be allowed to build to a lower standard and you're going to build to a lower standard just because you're allowed to, then what is your purpose?
Right.
And you just let them know as a consumer, I expect a higher standard.
Right.
And you give it to them that way, then that kind of gives you leverage because that makes them reconsider what they're saying.
Yeah. I've actually seen builders kind of backpedal on that. And let me say, most builders are good people. They're not trying to do anything wrong, if you will. But sometimes people just don't know the codes. The codes do change pretty regularly. And it's, oh, well, that's not nothing. We don't have to worry about that. This is why you get a home inspector. I don't know this stuff, and I can't see it. I don't know how they're supposed to do this stuff. That's not how it works. I sell houses. So this is why it's important and super important to have a good home inspector and have good people surrounding you when you're buying a home that's on your team. You have a group of professionals there to take care of you. Doing this on your own can be very difficult and very costly, okay? Especially with, like, my services for a buyer is free $99. You got to pay Derrick, but you're not paying him a lot of money, but he will save you a great deal of pain and headaches if you allow him to. I hear this all the time, Derrick, when people say, well, I don't need to get a home inspection because I have a home warranty when they're buying a new construction home. Yeah, you have a home warranty, but let's talk about why they still need to go ahead and get that home inspection. So tell us a couple of instances where people are talking about, I got a home warranty, or the home warranty is going to cover me, versus getting a home inspection.
Most definitely. One of the things, Sasha, we talked about this once before, but warranties are good. They're great in what they do are giving you some peace of mind. But what you have to keep in mind as well is generally things when they break is never going to break at a time of convenience. So let's just say right now you just closing on a brand new home, new construction. Okay, now we're a week ahead of Christmas. So now, would you rather know about your oven that's not properly heating today or the day before Christmas when you're preparing your Christmas dinner for your family?
Yeah, definitely before.
Most
definitely before. Yeah.
My thoughts exactly. So like I say, that warranty is fine, but this is one of those instances where you want to know sooner rather than later. And then one of the other caveats to that too is, again, you have a dishwasher that's not working properly, a microwave that's not working properly. If we detect those problems up front, then now you can pass that on to the builder, give that to them as a responsibility, which it should be in the first place. Otherwise, then if you don't get the inspection, then you inherit that problem. Now you're dealing with Whirlpool or Frigidaire, those guys, and your first challenge is just trying to get somebody on the line.
Yeah. I don't want that to be happening to me when it's time to eat. We want to be able to cook. You don't want to be in the heat when it's at 100 and hot here in Texas. That's when these things always happen. It always happens at the worst time, right around Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday parties. It feels like it always happens that way. You're right. Just get that peace of mind and find out beforehand before you actually experience the problem. At the same time, it could be something that the way that the building homes that can make that happen, that when they get educated on it, the builders change their plans. Good builders do that. They'll say, oh, okay, this is a problem. Let's fix that. Or if they take a dishwasher that's not working, they'll say, okay, we need to get a new contract on that dishwasher because this one is faulty or there's something wrong with it. I've seen that happen before as well.
And the key is, too, that builder has more leverage with Whirlpool. When that builder calls Whirlpool, they're going to have a direct line. those representatives from Whirlpool is going to recognize that they're going to get things done. Versus you trying to call as a consumer, it's a lot more painstaking work, and that's why you want to keep that responsibility on the side and the backs of the building.
Also, during COVID times, like right now, people it's hard to get them to come into your house right now.
Most definitely.
It's hard to get these home warranty people to come into your house if you just bought a brand new home. I have seen clients on back orders for dishwashers, back orders for refrigerators, or something that's not working properly. It's very difficult to get them to come in. So if you got the opportunity, you do have the opportunity to get it fixed ahead of time, do that.
Most definitely.
Yep.